I want to talk to you today about a very important topic. When we took office, even from the beginning of our first term, we've said all along our top priority was to make Louisiana the best place in the world to find a job to raise a family. We made major reforms, starting with ethics reforms, workforce development reforms, reforms in education and taxes as well. The good news is our work's paying off. We've now announced economic development wins in our state totaling more than 80,000 new jobs, more than $50 billion in private capital investment. Last year, in 2013, we broke multiple records. We now have more people working in Louisiana than ever before. We now rank higher than we've ever ranked in every national business climate ranking. Actually, we rank higher in every national business climate ranking than we ever did prior to January of 2008. Our economy has grown by $36 billion since we've taken office, growing 50% faster than the national economy. Per capita income, our ranking, our per capita income is now at its highest ranking in more than 80 years. One of the most exciting things to me, after more than 20 years, after more than 2 decades of seeing more people leave the state than come into the state, and being one of the only states, if not the only state in the South with consistent out-migration, for the last 5 years we've had more people move into Louisiana rather than leave our state. That means our sons and daughters are beginning to come home. Now, we've got more work to do, but the good news is we're headed in the right direction. Despite all this great news, we cannot become complacent. We can't rest on our laurels. We need to ensure this economic growth is sustainable into the future for many generations. For the last 6 years, we have focused mainly on cultivating existing companies in Louisiana and attracting investment from companies based inside the United States. We've been very successful in these efforts, and we will continue to cultivate new investment and new jobs. But that alone won't create a sustainable pipeline of jobs for future generations of Louisianians. We need to diversify and go beyond our country's borders. We need to focus on the next frontier for business opportunities. Our economic development efforts have already included attracting companies from across the world to Louisiana. But now it's time to ramp up those efforts. Louisiana already has a very strong position in trade and foreign direct investment. But we believe there's an opportunity in front of us to create even more jobs associated with trade, foreign direct investment, and reshoring projects. Stephen Morey is here. LED has been working with the new Louisiana Board of International Commerce to develop our state's first master plan for international commerce, which was recently adopted unanimously by the board. The master plan development effort indicated that with little change in our current efforts, we can expect to create roughly 7,000 to 8,000 new jobs annually over the next 5 years from foreign direct investment attraction and increased trade. That's about 35,000 to 40,000 jobs in total. However, the master plan also includes a variety of new initiatives, the implementation of which would enable us to roughly double these job creation numbers, meaning we have the potential to produce up to 75,000 new jobs from international commerce activities in Louisiana over the next 5 years, or about 15,000 new jobs per year. Going forward, we see big opportunities to cultivate foreign direct investment, trade, or reshoring projects across a variety of sectors, including automotive manufacturing, industrial machinery, plastics, rubber products, chemicals, software and IT, business process outsourcing, and telecoms. We expect to do business with dozens of countries, but we expect the biggest opportunities from a foreign direct investment perspective will be associated with companies based in Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Germany, Canada, and the United Kingdom. China and India will represent additional targets as well. From a bulk cargo trading perspective, the top countries of opportunity will include China, Mexico, Canada, Japan, Brazil, South Korea, Chile, Indonesia, India, and Singapore. And that brings me to what we're announcing today. On Saturday, Secretary Morey and I will be departing for a 1-week marketing and business development mission to Asia, including visits to Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan. The purpose of this trip is to cultivate more foreign direct investment opportunities and increase trade between Louisiana and key Asian markets. We're going to be meeting with dozens of corporate executives in energy, chemicals, and manufacturing industries, including companies already doing business in Louisiana, as well as companies with which we're cultivating business relationships. In several cases, we'll be visiting with companies that are actively considering projects in Louisiana. In total, we'll be meeting with at least 10 companies. Most of these companies are large global manufacturers with the equivalent of billions of dollars in annual sales. Additionally, we'll be meeting with senior government officials and trade professionals to discuss expanding business ties between Louisiana and Asian markets. We want to go there to personally communicate that my administration stands ready to assist the development of their respective projects in Louisiana, and that these companies should consider our state as a strong partner in their prospective operations in Louisiana. We're targeting a number of markets with a track record of significant outward foreign direct investment. In the aggregate, Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan represent the largest source of foreign direct investment projects for which Louisiana is currently in contention. Now, you might ask, why are we traveling now? And the answer is really two specific reasons. First, early on in our administration, most of the project opportunities we saw were associated with U.S.-based companies like ConAgra, EA, Gardner Denver, Folders, Nucor, Ronpac, CenturyLink, and many, many more. More recently, we've seen a big shift to foreign direct investment projects over the last 18 to 24 months. Indeed, Louisiana has become a national powerhouse in attracting large-scale, multi-billion-dollar international projects. Foreign multinational companies such as Sasol, Gameloft, and Bentler have been attracted to Louisiana's unique assets and LED's custom-fit public-private partnerships to develop workforce and infrastructure. Significantly increased trade and foreign direct investment in Louisiana have helped enable our state economy to substantially outperform the rest of the country ever since we took office. During my administration, we've attracted over $26 billion worth of foreign direct investment to date, with more projects and investments in the pipeline. Over the last few years, on a per capita basis, Louisiana has become the foreign direct investment leader of the South and the entire country. According to the United States Chamber, we're now the top overall performing state for exports in the country, but we think we have even more opportunities to secure more jobs. Second, with a global economic recovery finally underway, the number of foreign direct investment opportunities is likely to substantially increase. We want Louisiana to be a leader in that trend of increased investment in the United States. With rapidly growing labor, energy, and real estate costs in Asia, a variety of experts expect that a significant amount of manufacturing and software development activity is headed back to the United States, creating a major new reshoring trend that could result in tens of thousands of new jobs in the South. This trip also represents an opportunity for us to develop deeper relationships with companies based in Asia that have already invested billions of dollars in our state, such as Formosa and Shintech. We're going to discuss how we can support their current operations, as well as explore the possibility of future growth opportunities with them. Even as we court business investment from companies that don't yet do business in Louisiana, we need to always pay attention to our existing employers, which continue to be our top economic development priority. Asia is a particularly important part of the world to visit for a few reasons. First, countries like Japan and South Korea are expected to be two of the biggest country drivers of foreign direct investment in the United States over the next few years. Secondly, corporate executives in those countries place a great deal of importance on having direct personal relationships with top government officials in the states in which they invest. Third, we're actively being considered for several projects of global companies based in those countries that could result in billions of dollars of new investment and thousands of new jobs in our state. For all these reasons, this business development mission is a major opportunity to support economic development in Louisiana. Our state is ripe for more foreign direct investment. When multinational companies seek to expand into the United States, they typically look for three key assets: a business-friendly investment climate, availability of an extensive infrastructure that provides access to large consumer markets, and an efficient and available workforce that meets their needs. Louisiana has clear advantages in all three of these areas. We consistently rank in the top 10 nationally in several business climate rankings. Our infrastructure in terms of ports, rail, highways, and pipelines is second to none. Our workforce, combined with the best state workforce development program in the nation, LED's Fast Start, meets the needs and meets the demands of the contemporary economy across an array of leading industries. Louisiana also offers one of the most extensive deep water and inland waterway port systems in the world. We provide a comprehensive shipping and logistics solution for bulk commodities, containerized cargo, and land-based truck and rail freight. The bottom line is that Louisiana has a great story to tell, featuring a highly competitive tax structure, world-class workforce development programs, an outstanding workforce, competitive energy costs, unparalleled infrastructure, and strong governmental ethics laws. I want to make sure that our story is known across the globe by business leaders. We've done well these last 6 years outperforming the national economy, but it is important we continue to create opportunities for this generation and future generations of Louisianians. The next step, the next thing for us to do is to communicate this message personally and directly to the leaders of these global companies based in these three countries.